Well, the luck continues, and we're so happy that Mark managed to track down the lions. So well done to Mark, and I hope you enjoyed that sighting with him. Myself and Brian have covered quite a lot of distance since we left you, and eventually we've managed to bump into this herd of elephant. We can only see 4 individuals at the moment, but there could well be more in the area. The 4th one's just popped into view now, and before that it was only 3. That's a great shot that Brian's showing you there through the little window in the foliage. And always great to compare the textures out here between the leaves, the skin of the plants and the skin of the elephants. A beautiful contrast in both texture and colors. And they're no doubt happy with the wet, cool weather. That's now going to help the vegetation that they feed on to continue to grow, as well as it will keep them cool. This is the 4th member that's just popped out now, the one we can see on the road ahead of us. And because it's a youngster, we can expect some entertainment from it. A lot of the members of this herd do seem quite small. They're all kind of this similar size to the individual that we're looking at now. The handy thing about having a nose that long and that flexible is that you can use it to scratch appendages, which a lot of the mammals out here don't have the privilege of being able to relieve any itches or insects that may be bothering them. Now this one's come quite close to us back here, Brian. Seems to be quite popular at the moment for the elephants to be seeking out small saplings, often growing under the protection of other vegetation. So you do find the elephants having to kind of squeeze themselves into some interesting predicaments to get to these little saplings. Amongst them that we will try and show you, but it is very thick here, so I'm not going to guarantee anything, but there is a young calf that's really cute that we will try and show you at some stage, and potentially some more that we're unaware of. It would be considered a very small herd if it's just 3 adults and 1 calf, but not unheard of. Sorry about that little break-up in signal, but some things are simply out of our control. We haven't even moved the vehicle, as you're aware, and obviously a satellite up in space had some form of an issue, but there are so many factors that are out of our control with the broadcast, so apologies for that, but you didn't miss anything. If anything, the elephants just come out perfectly into the open now. this individual's broadside to us, if Brian just focuses a little bit closer in onto her head, you'll notice it's very angular where her forehead meets the top of her head, and you can almost see a little bump there. And that's indicative of a female. They'll have a very right-angled forehead, whereas the males will tend to have a much more rounded forehead that doesn't kind of meet at a 90-degree angle when looking at them broadside. So that can be one of the ways that you sex elephants. Just got a question through from Jenny in Wisconsin. Good morning, Jenny. And Jenny's asking roughly how many pounds of food will an elephant eat on average during a day. And the figure that I've been told is that they need to acquire about 4% of their body weight. So for smaller females like this that we're viewing that are probably around 3 or 4 tons, that would be about 120 to 160 kilograms. So to get pounds, it would basically double that mark. So anywhere from about 200 to 300 pounds of vegetation a day. It's a very big salad that they need to eat every day. And the reason why they do need to feed on so much is because their digestive system is quite poor, Jenny. So food comes out almost the way that it went in, very partially digested. And that is why they have adapted and evolved with these massive ears that help keep them cool during the heat of the day. And you'll often find elephant active when other animals may be resting. So they do need to spend a lot of time feeding, and that's great for us because when we find elephants, they're 90% of the time always doing something and performing for us. So a great animal to view, not only because of its size and beauty, but simply because they're very often active. Much bigger cow that I've just seen for the first time now, so evidently more members of this herd than we initially saw, and they do appear to be coming up to us. Let's see what she does now. Hello. We've got no food for you, sadly. Okay.
Not happy.
No, wrong answer. Interestingly, I've noticed that she's been feeding on the same tree that she just touched there with her trunk. It's called the zebra wood, which is a very hard wood. But I've now noticed that she has been feeding on the leaves of that tree. That's a much bigger cow. They look really beautiful with the sheen or glisten from all the moisture from the rain falling on them. And let's see what this lady thinks of us. She does seem very relaxed, but we do have to be cautious of what mood they may be in. Brian just read my mind, because I was just going to start talking about the toenails, and he then zoomed in on them. So congratulations on your mind reading abilities there, Brian. An interesting angle, and not always a shot that we get to show you. And isn't that interesting? You can see the 4 toenails, well, at least 3 in this shot, but there will be 4 little toenails there. They don't ever leave any sign of them having a toenail on their tracks in the sand, so it's not something you would expect to see on their tracks. Hello. Are we in your way? Well, this is a great way to spend the morning, and so happy that not only... Oh, look at the youngsters behind there now. Not only do we have Mark with the lion, and I think he's still with them in the hope that they may get active, or who knows, something may stumble across them. But he's there with the lion, and Alex has just confirmed for me that Mark is still with the lions, and we're out here with this, what's turning out to be a really great breeding herd of elephants. And Alex has just said that the lions are still sleeping, so you're not missing out on anything. And that is the beauty of having 2 vehicles, is that now Mark can afford to spend time there and wait for them to hopefully do something, because there is a chance that they will get up and do something, or like I say, something could stumble upon them while we enjoy this elephant sighting. And we really have got lucky, because it's very thick around us. But the elephants have fortunately decided to come and feed around us, making our life very easy and making for some great shots to share with you. I hope you could hear that low rumbling. It's a wonderful form of audio that the elephants make, and it's one that I hope you managed to hear, because it really is a prehistoric sound that you'd almost expect to come from a dinosaur. Rick and Susie in Hawaii, good morning, and welcome back, I guess. Rick and Susie sent through lots of questions to us, and good to be answering another question from you guys. It's been a few weeks since I've been gone, and Rick and Susie have asked whether, if at any stage bees or beehives will attack elephants, and it's a very good question. I haven't heard of it happening before, but that's not to say it hasn't happened. But what I could assume is that because the elephant's skin is so thick, I don't think the bees would actually, their stings would actually affect the elephants in any way. What would potentially bother the elephants is if a swarm of bees is buzzing around them, that noise may bother them. So, good question, Rick and Susie. Sadly, that's the best I've got for you. But one worth asking Mark. Maybe he knows of some stories with bees, swarms of bees attacking elephants. I'm not entirely sure though if he would have, but it would be one worth asking Mark. It's at a later stage. And Alex has just asked Mark that now. So Mark does have an interesting answer for you regarding the beehives, and I'll let him answer that, Rick and Susie, a little bit later when we cut back to him. But Alex, in the final control, did ask Mark that, so he will let you know his information, which is a really interesting piece of information. Attempt to turn around quickly. Oh, one car got a bit of a fright there, but that's from me. So I'm just gonna